Hi, I'm Emily from the Darling Dogwood, and I am very excited to be starting my 7th year as an ambassador for Island Batik. One of the best times of year for an Island Batik ambassador is when our boxes arrive with all of our goodies for the first half of the year. And I have just an amazing array today to show you that comes from both Island Batik and their industry partners. So I'm actually going to start with their industry partners. First, because it's on top, and right here is I have a ruler from Deb Tucker's 180, Deb Tucker's Studio Design, 180 Studio. I have the V block, which makes kind of a triangle that makes a V in the block. So that tool will be combined with some of the fabric I've got here for the February challenge. I've used some of her tools before, and she does making oversized units and then trimming them to perfect size for perfect piecing. I am not a perfect piecer, but she makes me look like I almost am. Hobbs sent multiple battings. I have a cotton batting with scrim here. I have another cotton batting. I have their Tuscany collection wool batting. I love this one. I made a quilt coat last year, and that's what I used, and it was perfect. I actually wish I was wearing that quilt coat right now because it's a little chillier out here than I had planned. I've also got their 80/20, which I use a lot, and this is their black, which is really great for quilts with a lot of dark fabrics and bright fabrics because it really makes those fabrics pop. I also, for the first time, have Hobbs stuffing, their polyester stuffing for like puff quilts that have come back into fashion, for stuffed toys. We have a stuffed toy challenge coming later this first half of the year. So it's great to have some of that. Like I said, I know that they made some. I have not used that one before. I also have a variety of needles from Schmetz. I've been using Schmetz needles since I first bought my very first sewing machine right out of college. I have their universal needles here, which are what I use all the time. Their vinyl needles, these also work as non-stick needles, which are great if you do stuff with a lot of fusible web, which I do. And then their piecing and quilting needles as well. So Schmetz needles, I've been using them for years. Speaking of products I've been using for a long time, AccuQuilt is back as a sponsor this year, and they sent us a cutting mat for some of their dies and their bob or block on board for the Irish chain block. This is a 10-inch Irish chain block. I've had an AccuQuilt since many years before I was working with Island Batik. Absolutely love it. Fantastic. For me, it was for scrap management. But their block on board dies are great because basically with one pass of the machine, you can cut all the pieces for a block, and you can cut up to 6 layers at a time. So sometimes that means you're cutting as many as 6 blocks all at once, which is great. So you will see this featured in the May blog hop with some of the new collections coming out. I also have some thread from Aurifil. I have this lovely like medium blue, a great orange, and a nice neutral there. So got some great thread there. This is their 50 weight, kind of standard weight. I use that for both piecing and quilting. And then Oliso has sent an iron. It looks like I've got a pink one here. Their M3 Pro. I will admit I have not opened the box yet. But I've got an iron there and an iron carrying bag, a wool bag that they have that is designed to fit that great for retreats and other times you might take your iron with you. So really excited to use that. So that is the industry partners session. So many thanks, so I don't forget, to Oliso, Aurifil, Schmetz, AccuQuilt, Hobbs, and Deb Tucker Studio 180 Design. But I'm going to move on to the fabric now because that is usually what I am most excited to see, just to see, we all get different things. So to see which colors and collections I end up with. I've got one in front of me here that is one of the collections that will be in shops in May. I believe pre-cuts are in stores now or soon. This is Essence. Beautiful collection of teal and aqua with a little purple there. I've got some green yardage to go with it. I could not find the label on these. They've started hiding them, putting them on the edges so they're not getting sticky on our usable part. I think this is honeydew, and I think this might be frog, but I'm not sure. These are both part of the foundations collections that are always available, and the ones that are kind of modeled like this are their basics. Those basics are divided into various color gradations, and they've put together pre-cuts with those color gradations. So this is the tantalizing teal gradation. in a strip pack. I was actually super excited to see this because I have a plan for this exact, not just this collection, but specifically in the strips. So I'm excited to see that tantalizing teal gradation pack. I also have a 10-inch stack from Ravishing Reds. So each one of the color gradations has 20 different of those basics that are the Foundations Collection Basics, which are the modeled ones. And there are 20 colors kind of in the same color range. So you get a variety of shades and hues. So they're really great. Already coordinated if you have a favorite color family. I've got one more pre-cut, and that is Meadow Hues. This is a collection that is coming out, I believe in February. Yardage will be in stores, and pre-cuts are either in stores now or coming soon. Again, green yardage. I think they had a lot of green supporting yardage. Again, I couldn't find the sticker, but I'm pretty sure this is mint, and I believe this is grass. So that coordinates Meadow Hues is this great combination of pinks, purples, and greens. So I'm very excited to do some, to me that's screaming to be a flower quilt. See what I can come up with that. I have 3 sets of Stash Builder strips, which are 5-inch by width of fabric. This one is a lot of purples, my favorite color, and lots of other things mixed in. Got some greens and teals here, and just a lot of assorted colors with these. These are really great if you just kind of like to collect a lot of different fabrics, so you have a lot of options. Great for scrappy quilts. Because they're 5 inches by width of fabric, you can cut them in half and make 2.5-inch strips. You can use them as charm squares. They're really versatile. I use them for a lot of applique because they're already in smaller sizes, and they're great to go through my AccuQuilt cutter on with applique shapes. Really like those. I've got 2 complete collections. These are half-yard bundles. These are for the block hops that I mentioned earlier. This is the Botanical Dreams collection. Yep, Botanical Dreams. I got that right. Realized I wanted to make sure I was saying the right words. This is absolutely gorgeous combination of oranges and purples, which aren't necessarily colors I would have put together, but I love the way they look together, and I'm really excited to use these. This will go with that V-block tool that I got for the February block hop, so that'll be very soon. I also got some coordinating yardage from that line. I have one of the orange and one of the purple. You can see there's a lot of flowers in these fabrics. That's always one of my favorite motifs in fabrics, is when there's flowers. These purple flowers are absolutely gorgeous. It would be an amazing border on something. Very excited to use those. There's also a surprise bundle here that I can't show you yet. This is one of the collections that will be in stores in May. And there's a half-yard bundle here as well. That's what I will be using with that AccuQuilt 10-inch Irish chain block. So we'll see. We all have the same Irish chain die. We all have different fabrics. So it'll be very exciting to see what all of the various Island Batik ambassadors come up with in the Irish chain block. I also have some half-yard cuts of the various Foundations collections that coordinate with these 2 collections. So I've got this one I hadn't had before. This is Citrine. It's kind of a orangey brown. Got purple. This one is Raspberry Bubbles. This one I think is Purple Cheerio. I couldn't find the sticker on that one. Some solids. I've got the orange and the pink. I don't know the name of this one, but I really love it. It always looks like snow to me. I've used it for things with a background, like with a snowman on it. I really like it. That one's Cheerios in navy. I've got some of the light gray solid, cobalt solid, cloud, and harbor. So lots of blues, some purples, and a little bit of orange there. So those are all half-yard cuts. Again, these are part of the always available collections. So these are always available. They don't change with the seasons the way the collections do. And then I mentioned those solids. I really love Island Batik solids because they're that tighter weave and they don't fray as much as a lot of other solids. I've got 4 yards each of black, white, and they're dark gray. These always make great backgrounds. I actually have the quilt on my design wall right now. That's my first time using the dark gray as a background, and I really, really, really like it. Also have 6 yards of another neutral from their collection. This one's bone. It's kind of, I don't know, it's nice and it's neutral, but it still has some color and pattern to it, which I really like. So that is that, and that is everything. There's a lot here, so I'm very excited to get to work with all of these for the next 6 months. Huge thank you to all of the industry partners, but especially to Island Batik, not only for all the amazing fabrics, but for trusting me with I think I said 7th year, right? So since 2019, so I think that's right. So thank you to Island Batik, and thank you for watching. I'm Emily of the Darling Dogwood.